TV. Started out in Mad TV.
God.
Didn't a lot of these guys start off in Mad TV or no?
I don't know. I didn't watch a lot of Mad TV. I was too busy watching stuff like LA Law and Star Trek.
Yeah, but like I said earlier, it's a pretty good. I like all the people in this movie, man. It's freaking hilarious.
Yeah, it's got a good cast. I think there's a lot of parts of it that were kind of dry, like drawn out. Like some of the jokes I didn't think hit. You know, Jane Lynch I know is a funny lady, but most of her stuff I found it boring. It wasn't funny. There were moments when I was laughing out loud, but it was really interspersed in the movie. Like I couldn't go that much higher with it.
No, I won't take my pants off.
No, you can't touch my hang down.
My language is English, and this motherfucker trying to grab my shit.
This honky trying to grab my shit. Yo, man, that's
If
racist.
you white, you Ben Affleck. Oh man, it's got a lot of quotable moments, man. That's what I liked about it. Cocaine. You know what? He says, you can't bullshit a bullshitter. He says, why would you think we're bullshitting you? And he says, before you bullshit me,
Why don't you two go home and bullshit each
bullshit
other?
each other.
Like,
Why would you think? Oh man. It's hilarious. They said, the proper way to hug your little. The improper way to hug your little. Well, obviously, we're not supposed to rape these kids. The whole prison thing. Look at us, Don. Look at us. We will get ranked in prison.
I think we're live.
Oh crud!
Yeah, we're live for a bit.
I'm not used to having it just go. This computer's so fast. I used to have to like jump through hoops and cross my eyes and dot the T's and all that stuff. But
No, we've been live for like a good 2-3 minutes,
nice.
Awesome.
which is great because it's always good to start a live stream with a lot of rape.
Oh my god. All right, so we can just kind of BS and riff a little bit before we get going too much.
Yeah. Went over to my first convention for the season, fellas.
Hey, I saw that. That looked awesome, man.
It was very, very small, but let me tell you something, man. The people were very enthusiastic. Everybody was willing to negotiate, and people were having a good time, man. Goes
That's
to prove it.
cool.
You don't need to have like a big, ginormous, convention center. People were laughing, sharing stories about collections. We just happened to overhear a couple people joking about making some custom toys and stuff like that, like GI Joes. There was a big GI Joe, like custom 1/6 scale. There was one little room dedicated to it. It was pretty cool.
What was this convention called?
It was a toy fest.
Toy Fest?
Toy Fest, something like
where
that.
was it?
It was at the Pasadena Convention Center. It was the downstairs. I think Nate, you've been there a couple times, right? You said.
I went there with Lego for that's where we met Rubenstein.
Yeah,
Did you guys
cool.
did you
When I
guys
got that
walk down
Gambit
the?
sketch.
Did you guys walk down the stairs in that little tiny area? Is that what you remember that?
No, it was kind of like just the main room, I think, that we saw.
Okay.
And they had some people with like booths out in the lobby, kind of. That was like the last thing before the apocalypse, right, Lego?
Just about. It was pretty close. Pretty close to the end there.
Yeah, but I had a ton of fun. The kids loved it. Like I said, for as small as it was, I felt really bad because I really wish that I had a lot more money. Because so many of those people were like, I was seeing some stuff and they were just like, hey, something that was priced like $60. Hey, if you want it, $50, take it, man. I'm like, oh man, I really wish I could. I'm so sorry. And everywhere I was going, people are like, oh, you see that? Yeah, if you like it, I'll give it to you right now for 50, 60, stuff like that. And I just didn't have the cash. I really wish I had a little bit more, but there was a lot of really cool stuff. Still seeing like those little toy shows like that. I like seeing because I always end up finding something that I hadn't seen before, and it just blows my mind. So saw a couple like old school X-Men figures that I personally have never seen. Have you guys ever seen the Monster series? Where they have like Wolverine with like they put on like a helmet, made him look like I don't know what the heck, like an alligator or werewolf or something. Those were cool. I'd never seen those before. There was some vinyl figures also, like old school vinyl figures, like just like Japanese figures. There was a bunch of stuff. It was awesome.
That's so cool.
I actually met I'll grab the stuff in a second, but I met one creator who I've been following on Instagram for a while. He has a Sofubi figure called Ragnar, I believe, with Last Bastion Productions. Really cool guy. He has a limited edition of 200 of them. They're all hand painted vinyl figures, just like the ones we get from Japan. And I've been winning a lot of some of those lotteries and getting stuff imported that I had to just support a local guy. Really cool. Talked to him for a while. He started following The Cave. Last Bastion Studios also started following The Cave. And when I mentioned that we were going to be reviewing it and posting up that review, he was just uber excited. He was like, thank you so much. Oh man, please let us know when that review goes up. We really want to hear what you have to say about it. So me and the guys are really looking forward to reviewing that figure.
Definitely.
Yeah. Very talented too. And like I said, just walking and finally, I felt good just being out and about, looking at stuff that I like and seeing all the little toys, supporting a couple little vendors here and there. So it was cool, man. It was a lot of fun for, plus, it just with shows being so scarce right now, certain things being uncertain, things getting canceled and stuff like that. It was cool to see something come through and just have a good fun afternoon with the kids.
Well,
And Isaac,
oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna ask Isaac if anything good at Funko.
That was cool. Gwen wanted to go, so we went to Funko. Just went and walked around. Got some Hollywood exclusives. Avatar, Freddy, Black Panther. Nothing like
Cool.
super
Should have
exclusive.
taken Nate. He's been dying to go.
Nate loves Funko.
Yeah. It's my favorite.
I think they named the Funko Fanatic after you, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Can't you tell?
Absolutely.
It sounds like Rodney King's getting beat up in the background. What is that?
Probably Jose.
Jose's beating up Rodney King in the background.
When we were out in Tennessee, we found a really cool used Lego store. Dude,
Cool.
that place was awesome. I don't know if you've ever been inside of the Bricks and Minifig store. Because I guess
It's right down the street from my bike shop.
yeah, they're a chain, I guess, of Lego stores that you can they franchise out and stuff. And you go in there and it's kind of cool and everything. This place, dude, you walk in and they've got those little shelves along all the walls, and they're double stacked, and they've separated out according to colors and piece shapes, and the
Do
mini.
they got like Creos and Facos too, or is it just
No,
Lego?
they're strictly Lego. In fact, they've got these barrel bins that are underneath the bulk tables because they want you to come in and actually like play and goof around and just chit chat and talk. They don't care if you like buy stuff or whatever. They have people that come in all the time. They host like parties and things, and they have like couples nights for building projects. You can bring your own sets in and sit at the table and build it so other people can like see what's going on with the different sets and stuff, and they'll like
Cool.
store it for you in case you're not finished.
That's
So
good
you-
for business. Even if people don't
That's
spend money, having a
awesome.
full house is always good for business.
Pretty
Yeah.
smart.
But they've
Does,
got like
uh,
these buckets underneath the bulk bins. So if you find pieces that are broken or that are not Lego, you just throw them in those bins for them too. And they double check because some things people think is fake, not certain pieces. But I mean, they've got like everything there. They don't sell new sets because they have, well, you have to go to Nashville that's the only Lego store in Texas or in Tennessee is in Nashville. So whenever people are looking for like the new sets, they send them to Nashville to get those. But like used pieces, used things that you're, if you're missing certain things from, I mean, they've got everything. Everything was there. It's crazy.
And that's
Nashville's
such
pretty
a-
dope.
Yeah, that sounds like such a great idea. Like do instead of like a drink and draw, like a paint, like a wine and paint, do a wine and Lego building with your significant other. That would be awesome.
Yeah, they had like pictures that were there where there's the husband and wife were putting together the big Millennium Falcon, not
The 7,500 piece one.
the huge one. Because there were enough
The collector
bags.
one.
It's like, okay, I'm gonna work on this section and she's gonna work on that section and they can build it together and put it together and I mean this guy and it's run by a husband and wife and they've got
Bless you.
and they know their shit when it comes to Legos. Like he's got the original the very first original vintage castle set when it was the yellow castle and the horses weren't actually horses. You had to build the horses out of the Lego bricks for them. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I haven't seen one of those in a really long time. I used to own it, but I haven't seen it in so long.
The
But-
original
Might have to.
system.
But
Bless you.
Sneezes are going through the air in Anaheim.
Sorry,
Hey,
Isaac, I spoke over you. Sorry.
he has PDFs that you can that he gives out for builds. So like if you don't want to go spend the $800 or whatever it is on a certain set, on an original set or something like that, he has he either can give you the PDF or he's got them printed, spiral bound printed, that he gives out. He doesn't actually like take any money for it. He gives it out so it's not copyright. The building instructions for a lot of sets. So you can go out and then find your own pieces and put it together. And
Kind of like in
That's so cool.
Brickling, they do that too. Where you're like looking for certain pieces and you can build. That's cool.
he's got it down to the point where so when you're looking at like the minifig sets, like or the minifigures, like he has all the dinosaur one. I don't like all the set. I don't want the whole sets. The only dinosaur set I want is the gate for Jurassic Park. But I like all the dinosaur figs that come in the other sets. But like he's got it to the point where if you're missing like the tips of the tail, because sometimes there's like extra pieces. So if he's got him down to where you're missing the middle piece, here it is, or you're gonna need that, there it is, and or the jaw to like the horse or the dragon jaws or something like that. He's got like a full one, and then he's got it's immaculately organized too. It's one of those things where you walk in and it looks like it's super bright, super open. It looks almost sterile, but then you look in the center of the room and there's just these kids and adults just in there just digging in and building and just having fun. And he's got little solo cups that you can like fill in, and you know, he sells stuff by the book, but at the same time, you can just go in and play, build something, and then just walk out. It's no big deal. And as we were leaving, because we had to leave to go pick somebody up, but as we were leaving, like a little birthday group was coming in of like, there was like 6 little kids that were coming in, and they let them play. They give them things that they can build with, and you know, they plop down a dollar amount, and they get to walk out with whatever they create in the time that they're creating.
Hey, that's a good idea.
That's a
They
great
looked at it
idea.
like a separate room for like where the Duplos are for like the little kids too. So there's like another mini room off the side of the main room that's set up with like the Duplo tables that you can get, and it's got all the loose Duplo bricks and like everything you can imagine there. So they've got it for all ages and all age groups. It's really cool. I was super impressed.
Yeah, it's one of those things, you know, I'm sure everybody's well aware of how poorly I view the entire like geek and collectible industry and everything like that, and just how depressing and dark everything seems to be. But I got to tell you, that store gave me hope that not everything is dead. That guy clearly has a passion. He's willing to share it with the community. He wants to encourage new people to come in as well as veterans, and he makes it all available to everybody. And you know, I haven't built a Lego in decades, but I could definitely go in there for an afternoon and put stuff together, no problem. That would be easy.
That's cool.
It was a nice experience. They're gonna be at the Tennessee State Fair. They've got like a big area set up, and the way that they're gonna have it set is that they just are bringing like their bulk bricks, and they're gonna start something, and then if anybody wants to come in, they can like start and build off of that. You know, mom and dad is gonna give them like 10 minutes to do that while they're waiting in line for something else. They could build something, and then you can get up and walk away, and then somebody else will come in and build off of that, and then they're gonna see what they've built by the end of the state fair that they have for the weekend. For the week, I think it's a week actually. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's really cool. So if you guys need like things, send me your lists, because when I go back, I'm definitely right there. Because there was some like some of the Disney minifigs. I'm like, oh crap, do I have Chip or Dale? Oh shit, which Huey? Is it Huey, Dewey, or Louie that I need? Because he had it all there. So I was like, make my list. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That's cool. All right, let's see. Something new coming out from the cave, or fairly new. They've reintroduced the. Actually, I don't want to start talking about this while Jose's gone, but the collectibles corner, and you guys, that your guys' chemistry really shines through on that show. I can tell that you guys are having fun while you're working on it. So those are cool. And it seems like you've got a little bit of a formula, but it's like
It's in its infancy still. We're still working it out, trying to figure out what works for the show and what doesn't, but it's fun.
Yeah.
And I think we've been really stepping it up with like the lighting and stuff, so we can actually show off the toy or statue that we're reviewing in a way where you can actually see it. And
I like it. Are those
Dude,
is that like a special set or something that you guys are using?
No, so those are, Isaac, you have them behind you. What are those? What's the official name on those?
Is that the Hi-Ya to Ed?
Yes, the Haya Toys Ed 209.
You know what? Those, I'm amazed at how detailed those things are.
You see the wires right there? Those are all like they're loose. It's, oh my god, man. We were surprised, honestly.
we were.
How much and it talks. And Isaac, I think, makes a note on the video. Nowhere on the box does it say that it's got sound effects. So that was pretty cool to discover that.
The first Hi-Ya piece that I saw come in at the store was the Alien, or from Aliens, the second one, the troop transport that they drive in.
Okay.
And their scale for the figures, we never had any of the figures. We never had any of that. And the first piece that we got from them was that Aliens troop, the transport car thing. And dude, that thing, that opens up, the thing inside slides across where the guy, the one douchebag leader guy, I can't remember what his name is now, but he's on his chair and he slides back and forth in front of the monitors, and each of the little like headrest things go up and down. And it was so like detailed. The gun that comes up on the top and it slides to the back of it. And I was like, geez, if this is what they're doing for the vehicles, I wonder what the toys are going to look like. And then the first actual action figures that we got in were the Predator ones. We never saw the Aliens ones until later. We got the Predator series of those. Man, those are great. I've got your RoboCop one though too, Jose.
Yeah, thank you. I was really excited about that. And then after we did the review, I was so happy that I had actually pre-ordered that with you guys. Because it's a solid figure, man. Like I said, we were really surprised. I had the
What's the
the
price
NECA
point
one?
on it?
The NECA one, right?
I
We
had the
reviewed that
NECA
one on
one.
the-
Yeah, we did.
on the old
And I
channel.
want to say, as cool as it is, as cool as it looked, I feel like that one felt a little bit more flimsy. I was more scared to kind of lift the legs up and
Oh,
down.
NECAs are junk, dude. NECAs always break.
No, well, NECA stepped it up a lot, but we're talking like maybe this was years ago, man. Like I want to say like maybe 7, 8 years ago.
Yeah, something like that.
But with for example, the Godzillas that NECA dropped, those are all solid, man. Those are great figures. Those are heavy. I take
Yeah, but it's
Josh's,
Godzilla though. Like if you get like I don't know. I don't want to bash on anything. I'll
well,
just
all of their but even their Ninja Turtle figures that they've released, man, those paint apps are great. The San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. I think early in when they were first coming up, they were a little like the paint apps were a little problematic. Because I remember because I had a lot of those old Predator figures. I had the old I want to say the RoboCop figure too. I think we even reviewed that years ago. So I've had some of those older figures, and yeah, I can tell you with confidence that they were not the greatest. Like a lot of the pieces would fall out of their hands. They just weren't there. But they've definitely stepped their game up and more recently, especially when they've acquired a lot of those bigger licenses. So there's been an evolution of that company to, and in a good way. But with Hiya Toys, this is a 1/18th scale. The details, the paint app, even on some of those pieces, it looks like they painted them so it looks like metal. So I was very pleased with that. And then the price point for this one in particular was $40.
Oh, that's good.
So you can't even
That's
go
solid.
wrong with it. That's a solid figure for $40.
For sure. I like the way
so-
those wires looked on the side too, and that the fact that it actually like had voice in it. Man, did it have a little spot where you can pull the guy's brain out of it in a canister? That would have been
No,
that would have been the ultimate.
we were looking for that, and no, there was nowhere to insert any nuke or anything. But yeah, but Collectible Corner is a lot of fun. We forgot how much we love reviewing toys. It's a lot of work reviewing toys. It's not like the comics. The comics are a little bit different with the toys. You kind of have to have some background knowledge of the company and its competitors. Like we had to be aware that NECA had one. I mean, there's nothing comparing to like the Hot Toys one. If you've seen the Hot Toys 1/6 scale at 209, there's nothing comparing to that. But that's a $1,000 figure easily. So for $40, $1,000, I'll stick with my $40 one.
Dude, you could get an army of your $40 ones for $1,000.
Right.
You take over Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always like the price points on the Hayas because, yeah, I mean, even though like the action figures, they're still, I think they're like $15 or something.
Yeah, 15 to 18 bucks. I think the most expensive one I've seen has been 18, and it was the San Diego Comic-Con one, wasn't it, Liz?
Yeah, and that was, but the packaging the packaging on that one is, it's big. It's like a big window
Yeah.
kind of looking
Yep.
thing. It's almost like it's on a carded backing and almost a little bit of a retro look to it. But the other ones, they just come in like these, like just very, I don't want to say bland, but they are kind of bland, just these boxes that are
Yeah.
just a little bit bigger than the actual figures are. And, they were great. I loved them. I love the way they look, and the details on those too are just, like I said, the Predators. And then we started getting some of the alien ones with the Predators. I mean, you could see the wet. They would use the mesh when it wasn't just painted on. They actually used the mesh, or
Yeah.
they use the accessories that they come with. They fit perfectly in their hands. They don't fall out. They took time to make it look like they're dinged here and they're used weapons, not just like these brand spanking right out of the package kind of thing. So it's kind of cool. They put a lot of detail in for their price point. I if I collected, that would be one of the series that I would get, are all those Hayao ones.
Yeah, and not ragging on any companies, because everybody's doing their own thing and they're killing it in their own way. But certain companies have like $20-$25 figures that don't come with nearly as much detail and aren't as, like you said, the weapons falling out, and there's just not a lot of thought. So maybe they're not the biggest figure, because I think that most are like, they're 1/18 scale, so they're about the GI Joe sizes,
The
Nate.
GI Joe size ones, yeah.
Yeah. So, but now imagine a lot more detail, more posability, some great articulation, great looking weapons, and just like I said, for that price point, you just can't beat them, man. Hiya Toys, they're killing it in the game right now, and I think they're not being talked about as much as they should be.
Yeah, I mean, like, is the details. What got me was the details of the accessories that they come with. Because a lot of times you're like on the scale like that, you're like, oh, you don't care, you just want the figure, and like the Predator's like disc thing that he throws, or usually on bigger toys, it's just this like circular gray glob thing, and this one, it's got the spikes. It's like I said, it looks like it's got a little patina on it, or dried blood, something. You know what I mean? It has. The accessories themselves have personality. And if you're going to go to the detail on that, on just the accessories, the toys, like the action figures themselves, they're top notch. I like them a lot.
Yeah. Toy game is changing, man. And price points are getting to be a factor when it comes to purchasing.
Where are these toys manufactured?
I think a lot of them are probably in Japan.
Yeah, I want to say that doesn't
Yeah, like where does Hayab do the molds and everything and have the toys assembled?
All that stuff is overseas.
Yeah, that's overseas.
That's
I can't tell you what. Do you have the? Oh wait, I would have the box somewhere. I have to look for it. Or Nate, maybe if you watch the video, we rotated around quite a bit. Maybe you can freeze it when we turn it over.
I'm fairly sure it was somewhere in the Pacific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're always made.
If
in
I
Asia.
remember
Probably
right.
Taiwan or Japan or something like
Yeah.
that.
While Taiwan still exists.
Right.
All right, let's see. Moving on. What are we working on there, Lego?
We're doing a Rhino tonight.
The Spider-Man villain Rhino?
The Spider-Man villain Rhino. We're doing a ink and drink and draw sort of deal online on Wednesdays, and I've been taking part in that. And some of the guys came up with the idea to do a Juggernaut Rhino comic, and I thought that was a killer idea. So I've been doing some rhinos, doing some juggernauts, and I figured I'd do a painting of one. So
that's not the Paul Giamatti mecha version of Rhino that we saw with Andrew Garfield, huh?
that's the only Rhino that exists as far as I'm concerned. No, it's definitely not. Definitely not.
I like your bullet to tell me Juggernaut, honey.
Oh God.
So he's got a detachable horn. I see you can reach in there through that hole.
Yeah, exactly. It's so you can transport the painting easy.
That's nice. I like
That's
that.
right.
For
Definitely.
convenience.
Shoulder like a boombox as you're walking down the street.
Mm. Dude, that needs to be a thing.
This
Dude, I
man's a
would like that.
trendsetter.
I would like that. I'm gonna, guys, I know we're joking, but I'm gonna start doing that. I'm gonna start carrying paintings around and just like, yeah, man, painting.
Yeah, man. All right, that's a good Juggernaut Rhino. That's a good segue to some Silver Age acquisitions I was able to get.
Oh my god, you're like a little kid. It's so cute.
Ah! So, for those of you who don't know, last year I sold my first appearance of Juggernaut so I can get my mountain bike frame, and I get a lot of use out of the mountain bike frame. But after I sold that book, it's fucking haunted me. Like my watch list on eBay had like 15 books, and they're always selling for so much. And I was able to reacquire my first appearance of Juggernaut.
That X-Men 12.
X-Men 12.
You had that.
He appears for a single panel in X-Men 11, right?
Okay, Hulk 180.
I'm just saying. I used to own both of those. I know.
That X-Men 12 is probably not worth anything then.
Yeah.
You just toss that my way.
I actually picked it up for $3.75.
That's a steal.
$3.75 is a steal, dude.
It really is. The other one I bought it for like $100, and I got it signed by Stan Lee and slabbed up. It was a 5.5, and I sold it for $1,500. So I probably had like $200 in on it, and I made like $1,300 off of it. So,
Dude, just have this one signed and slapped too.
Yeah, we'll just Weekend at Bernie's Stan Lee onto it.
Right.
We've seen the movie. We got some expertise.
And then I picked up this book also, Strange Tales, number 118.
Ooh, nice.
This is 1964. It's got a bunch of different people in it. It's the first appearance of the Eye of Agamotto, which I don't know if. So I got that one for a really good deal. It's like $65. 1964 comic. I figure if I'm gonna buy stuff, I should go super retro, and it's in good shape. I'm probably gonna send it in. So that was good. That was my excitement this week. I won that on a bid this week. So I was like, yeah, I got it. Oh my God. The most I was willing to go with it was 4. So I actually got it below my bid. I don't know what the hell happened, but those haven't been going for any less than like $800.
Mm-hmm.
That copy was meant to be yours, Nate.
Yeah. No, the one I sold was meant to be mine, but I'm a dumbass. I still have regret, just that I don't have as much regret.
No regrets.
No regrets.
Sure, not just one. Just
No.
one little stir.
Things have a way of finding their way back into your life when they're meant for you, man. When I sold my first appearance of Venom to Chromium, I was pretty devastated, but it was at a time that we needed it. And later on, I ended up picking up a mystery box, and I happened to win one in it. So I was meant to have a 300 in my life one way or another. So
Do you still have it now?
I still have it. Yeah, no, I
Okay.
kept that one. Yeah, I'm really happy.
Yeah,
But I
there's
remember when
certain things, I've sold a lot of stuff over the last
Yeah,
10 years.
same.
I've sold a lot of stuff, but certain ones, there's still a handful of them that like my Terrordrome, my G.I. Joe Terrordrome. It's like this Cobra play set. It's about as big as this wheel, and it's got like a jet that pops up out of them. It was dope. It was in great condition, and I sold it when I first opened my eBay store, and it was just such a stupid sell because most of what I was selling, I could you guys know what I was doing, and I was able to replenish that stuff and sell it again, and I could keep that moving. But I sold my personal thing that was just gone, and to be able to get one, I didn't even sell it for I didn't even know how good of condition mine was in until I tried to buy some, got them back. They were all junk and I returned them. Broken tabs, miscolored, and I still don't have it. I'm still pissed off about that.
You
Between
can hear,
this,
you can hear the breaking in your voice, like it hurts.
yeah, it's a sad day, man. Anybody else got any books to show off today? Nothing?
I'll take that as a no.
All right.
You know, one of our chat people, Luis Gonzalez, wants to know who we think would win in a fight between the Juggernaut and Thor.
Thor?
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 No,
Without Mjolnir,
No, even with Mjolnir, I would take the Juggernaut in that fight.
I was gonna say, well, really? I was gonna say
Yeah.
Juggernaut maybe without Mjolnir. So
No, the Juggernaut is basically invulnerable. Thor's got his limits.
that's what I'm saying because of the jewel, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
How does he
Crimson
get his
Crystal-
power? Yeah.
The Crimson Crystal of Sidorak makes the Juggernaut basically invulnerable. You could drop a nuke on him; it wouldn't stop him.
Yeah, so I would go with Juggernaut in that one.
But what about this? So I'm Thor. Could I just jack Juggernaut and throw him into space?
That's been done.
Yeah. So there was a time way back in the day when I still collected comics when
They did it.
I had this bug up my butt where I wanted to collect every single comic book that the Juggernaut appeared in.
And he did.
And for a time I had it all the way through the Malibu series where he had gone into that series to be part of the Exiles. Anyway, there was a two-part series in Doctor Strange back in like the 70s where Juggernaut and Doctor Strange fought. And Doctor Strange used some of his magic to basically teleport Juggernaut into the depths of space. And
Yes.
the comic ends with the Juggernaut just floating out there. And he said, when I get back. And yeah, basically that's what happened is he floats around out there until, you know, some happenstance occurs where he could start making his way back. But he doesn't need to eat. He doesn't need to sleep. He's constantly being regenerated by the power of the Crimson Crystal. He's invulnerable. He's at least as strong as Thor, not as strong as the Hulk. And if he ever gets in a position where he can start any kind of forward motion, he cannot be stopped.
Right
No,
on.
he's great. We can open up the can of worms. No, yeah, it's true. There's nothing you could tack onto what he said about Juggernaut. That's why I was so bothered with the loss of the book.
Wait,
But
so,
the,
to answer this question, to answer the question by show of hands, who's got Thor in that fight?
Man, I thought Thor. I mean, he's killed Galactus. Like I think Thor's.
Who's got Juggernaut? Like I got Juggernaut.
I just think it depends on who writes it, because you get. I mean,
Well, right now, Comic Cave and Collection Connection are writing it, and it is Juggernaut. So Juggernaut, at least.
yeah, I don't know. The good guy wins.
How does that work if he's got the crimson bands of Sidorak? They don't like counteract each other.
No, I think that's what happens. So generally, Doctor Strange will use the Crimson Bands of Sidorak, a spell, in order to bind opponents and keep them from moving. But I seem to recall that when he was trying to use it on the Juggernaut just broke the bands because Doctor Strange is drawing on the Juggernaut's own power to use the bands in the first place.
Interesting. Because we see them, he uses them on Thanos. And
Yeah, he does. He does use them on Thanos in
I was gonna say Thanos breaks him though too.
Yeah, but Thanos has got most of the gauntlet at that point. There was really no way that Doctor Strange was going to be able to hold him for long.
Interesting. Any viewers out there? What are they commenting?
Well, Luis clarified that he wanted a fist fight only, but I don't even think a fist fight only is necessary. I would still put Juggernaut ahead, even with Mjolnir.
All right. What if they're doing that slap contest like the ones that I see on Instagram all the time, where they just slap each other? Then I got Juggernaut too.
Yeah, the Thor's down for the count in that case. I mean,
Juggernaut has his helmet on.
you have to remember Thor is like what is he, like 6'4" and like 270 or something like that. The Juggernaut is like 7 foot and 700 pounds. He's a monster.
Yeah. I do actually. It's funny you guys bring up Juggernaut because there is one thing I actually still wish that I had, and I sold it as a lot, which I regretted, and that was the Marvel Select Juggernaut.
Ooh, that was a good one.
That was a very solid, and that was actually by General Giant. So I was really like, when it sold, it didn't sell for as much as I was hoping for, but I needed the room at the time. So, but I'm still looking for it. I think it's ridiculously cheap now, so I'm looking for a decently priced jug.
Wait, I think I see it. Josh, I think, has it.
Hang on. I'm gonna bring back some fond memories here.
He might have it. He's got the Toy Biz one. He's got the.
No, not that one. It's that one right
And,
there.
and I always liked the Marvel Select one because the proportions were really cool. That's the one, dude. That's it.
Let me get this bad
Because-
boy out of the bed.
You remember the Marvel Legend one? Like his arms were really long. It looks like they used the same mold that they used for the Hulk
Oh, that's
Buster.
dope.
That is the dope one. I like that. That was General Giant, man. They killed it on that figure.
Yeah.
Oh, this is that light up one that came with that stupid
Yeah,
weapon. That,
The Juggernaut figures have suffered for a long time with being good enough, and this mold that they did for the Select series is freaking dynamite.
I think this is.
I mean,
the
they've even got it down to like where they've got like tread on his boots.
Yeah, I remember all that. I remember that's what I liked about it. And that one and the Hulk Buster were both great proportions, like their body size. Because the Marvel Legend one, if you remember, his arm went all the way down to his feet. It was like a ridiculous mold. Like I was like, what were they thinking with that? But this one,
gorilla.
and even the Kotobukiya statue, I didn't feel really grabbed like the way the General Giant Marvel Select figure got it. And I normally really like Kotobukiya.
It does bear saying that that the Juggernaut does have one weakness, and that is that he is susceptible to psychic powers, which is why he wears that helmet. The helmet is made of lead, oddly enough, something so simple, but it's basically to keep his brother out of his head.
And for those of you that don't know, who's his brother, Josh?
Well, technically half brother, but that would be Professor X.
I got
That's
it back,
right.
Sanchez. I sold it, but I got it back. Haha,
Yeah,
another
he
person.
did.
Got it back. All right,
You know-
Lego. Go ahead,
Oh.
Josh.
I was
What's up,
gonna,
baby?
one last bit on it because Make Havoc says that the Jugs is killer. One of the things that I've always appreciated about the Juggernaut is that you have this being with, functionally Asgardian level power, great strength, stamina, invulnerability, like all this kind of stuff. But the Juggernaut is fundamentally a petty criminal. He likes to knock over banks and like steal booze, and he works as like a thug for other like supervillains and stuff like that. He's not a mastermind. He's not a very complex character. A lot of X-Men issues that he was in, or Spider-Man issues, all he's doing is like knocking over a local bank to get some cash so he can enjoy some beer. He's got all this godlike power, but really all he's doing is like robbing 7-Elevens.
So stuff that I was doing at 16. Awesome.
Yeah.
You too can be Juggernaut.
That's
Jose.
So I guess I'm the Juggernaut.
Now, as a bonus round, where does the word Juggernaut come from? Anybody know?
Josh knows.
I think I do too, but because you've told me, but sometimes you tell me things like over and over and over again that I forget because I don't hear it anymore.
It comes from the root of jugs, which mean boobies, which because of his enormous breast and
10
his
out of 10.
phenomenal pecs, the Juggernaut.
The word Juggernaut is an English bastardization of the Hindu god Jagannath. And Jagannath is famous that there is a festival once a year where they wheel out the idol of the god through the city on these giant carts with like these tremendous wheels.
And is
And
everybody
during
jacking off on it?
No.
I was waiting for somebody. I gotta be
Sorry.
honest, it was a flip between you or Isaac that was gonna say something like that. I'm sorry, I just threw it out there.
So these giant carts with these huge wheels are pushed through the town by the crowds but inevitably you get like 17, 18, 20 people that get crushed to death by these things because you can't stop them on a dime. And so one of the first Englishmen that had traveled to India and witnessed this particular event taking place with, you know, these Indian worshippers of this idol being crushed to death, said that, you know, that things that were like this that couldn't be stopped were basically juggernauts. But it was a bastardization of the name of that deity.
The more you know.
Right? This is the collection connection. Yeah, like
This
Well,
is the
House Rock.
education corner.
This is the education we like.
good
All right,
job,
Lego.
Bernie.
All right, I'm done.
You got some movies, Mr. Lego.
Yes,
Uh-oh.
sir.
Dear God.
Oh, you know we got movies.
First movie's Elephant Man.
Oh, oh God.
It's a good movie.
First movie, Spider-Man 3.
Seriously?
Serious?
No, I'm not.
Oh.
Wow, that came out of nowhere.
Second movie, Battlefield Earth.
I wouldn't do that to myself.
He's like, screw you guys. I wouldn't do that to myself.
Right?
He wants a
All
sweet
right. All right, we got a list up here. I wanted to try the Kurosawa movie Ran. It's a
Spell it.
violent RAN Japanese film. It's loosely based on King Lear. It's feudal Japan. It's extra violent, and I haven't seen it.
Hold on.
So
Okay, cool. I thought this marker was dead. All right, what else you got?
Seems to be the problem all the time. You too need to donate markers. Send them to Collection Connections.
Right? What else, Lego?
all right. We also got Tigra, which is a heavy metal production, animated. So I have never seen it. Like to see it.
So animated. Cool. What else?
We've also got The Secret of Kells. Kells.
It sounds familiar.
some kind of Irish thing.
Exactly. Irish animation.
Do they
We'll
river
see.
dance in the movie?
I don't know. I haven't seen it. These are on my brain melter haven't seens.
Right.
And we gotta have El Topo on there, guys. Because it wouldn't be a Lego list without a Hodorowski. You guys are gonna get it one day. You're gonna get it.
Make Havoc said he's already bored with these movies.
Wow.
Yeah, you don't have to watch them.
Right.
You should. I wish more people would watch along these movies with us.
Yeah.
I would even be willing to invite somebody to be on the show.
You could join in our joy or our pain.
Definitely.
Hey guys, and just a reminder, if you want your movie to be thrown on the wheel, give us a like.
Do it.
Do
Yeah,
it.
we
Do
only
it.
have 3 likes, so I don't think I'm gonna pick anyone's movie today.
Wow. Come on, guys, get those likes on there. My children, they need wine. And they get them through those likes.
All right, we got 4 so far, Lego. You got 2 more in here, bud.
Well, I feel so bad since Steve is being so critical. Let's do Army of Darkness. Does that pass the test?
Yeah, you're speaking Josh's
Look,
language.
look.
The movie he saw like 300 million times at the dollar.
This right here,
theater.
kids.
Oh
yeah.
yeah, nice.
My Forbidden Planet DVD came in today.
Oh, very nice.
Sorry. Segue.
Also, Also a Lego pick, right?
Yes.
Nice.
Oh, that's
Dude,
true.
I got good picks. I got good picks. You guys are talking shit, but you're gonna watch this shit and you're gonna be blown away. Maybe I don't know.
I've liked maybe
They're the best movies ever.
3 of the movies that you've picked.
Okay.
I mean, you're batting 100, or what's the? It's not 100. What is it?
1,000. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. I got one more, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's do I got a list here. I don't know how bad I want to go. Let's go Big Trouble in Little China. That's a good
Oh,
one.
nice.
Dope.
I wouldn't mind watching that this week.
John Carpenter's finest.
I would agree with that.
All right, you ready for the peoples? You guys ready to give thumbs ups and downs?
Let's do it.
Let's go. Hey, give us a thumbs up.
I'm gonna go with the
Yeah,
thumbs
definitely.
down for Kazam.
Damn.
I've never seen it. Let's go.
I'm down. Hell yeah.
All right.
We're
Wait,
split in
Whoever
half.
wrote Kazam,
Well, you know what? It goes to the person picking it, so that's 4 thumbs up. So Kazam goes on the wheel.
Oh, shit.
Sam.
I'm gonna laugh if it goes
I
on.
am.
Now
Cause
they
they're-
review it.
Come on, let's get the diesel on there.
You know, that's the thing about this show, right? We
Yeah.
either we either watch a good movie and have a good time watching the movie, and our show's not that good because we all say how awesome the movie is, or we watch a horrible movie and our episode about the horrible movie is fucking great because of how
So Josh didn't know that this is the Shaquille O'Neal movie.
No,
He
I
said
do
the
know.
diesel.
Okay,
This is the one that-
Shaquille is called the diesel.
okay.
Yeah,
I thought
Sure, you don't know basketball.
I know enough about that.
the big cactus.
another Shaquille O'Neal great steal.
Oh my god. No, I did.
We can
see
only
that
do
one.
one.
Sorry. No.
Sorry. Sam got on the wheels. He was gonna have to
It's we're not letting this thing get out of hand here.
This is
Don't
crazy
forget, we
talk
gotta
now.
watch them.
Next movie, The Crossing Guard with Jack Nicholson.
Crossing guard.
I'm gonna go ahead and thumbs down on that. I've never seen it, but
Yeah.
It's Jack Nicholson. I said, let's go.
It's directed by Sean Penn with Jack Nicholson.
Oh, Sean Penn. No, I reverse.
I knew you were gonna do that.
It's an independent film.
Yeah.
What's the Walmart.com rating? That's the real question.
It's got a 6.3 on IMDb out of 10, a 75% Rotten Tomatoes, and a 3.6 out of 5 Voodoo. No
yeah, I'm
Walmart.
good. I'm good on that.
Is it available for free?
Next is Rounders with Matt Damon,
Damn it. Is that the gambling one or the
Edward
one?
Norton, John Malkovich.
I don't think I've seen that one.
I've
I'll
never
watch it.
seen it, but it is about gambling.
Enough of you
Screw
guys.
you,
put your
Lego.
thumbs up. It's in. What is it? Rounders.
Yeah.
Rounders, yeah.
I'm with Lego, but you guys outvoted us.
Yeah, that doesn't sound great, but
Next is Leonardo DiCaprio in Catch Me If You Can.
Oh, I like that one.
That one's a fun one.
I like that
I
one.
like that one. I like that one.
Tom
That's the
Hanks.
airplane one.
I know. I'm
Tom Hanks.
It's been a while since I've seen it.
pro man.
Hey, you guys want to hear a joke?
Sure.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Oh, F yourself.
What?
That's from Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah.
And then another Leo film, The Departed with Jack Nicholson.
Oh, that was cool.
Did I see that one?
I'm not a fan of Leo.
That's
Mark
Martin Scorsese.
Wahlberg, Martin
I'm still not a fan of
Scorsese,
Leo.
Jack Nicholson.
You gotta put D for Vendetta on there. That's
Lego, are you in? I thought we were saving that for November.
Are we
Yeah.
just gonna skip it to that point?
Should we just do a mandatory at that point? Like, damn.
That's what I'm thinking. So Lego,
Yeah, we could do that.
The
What's
Departed.
up? Oh yeah, sure. That's fine, I guess.
And that's it for the titles.
RoboCop.
RoboCop.
Hell yeah. Ooh,
Where's
RoboCop's
RoboCop?
awesome.
Dude, I'm in
I'll
for
buy that for
RoboCop.
$1.
I'll buy that Hiya toys for $40.
Still got 7 left.
Well, in the
Seven
interest
left.
of more awesomeness, let's go with this bad boy.
Watchmen.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind talking shit.
Watchmen, sure.
I would be interested to hear why you would talk shit on that marvelous movie.
Because it's bad.
Okay.
Save it for the show.
I hope we don't have to.
I hope we do. I'd like to see Lego unleashed on what I think is one of Zack Snyder's finest.
I mean, hey, I didn't say it wasn't one of Zack Snyder's finest. I just said it was bad.
Well, we'll suss it out when it shows up on the wheel.
Yeah.
All right.
Hackers. That's with Angelina Jolie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like an old school Angelina Jolie. That's before she like blossomed. She looked
Would she-
distinctive. Go ahead.
Yeah. Would she still look like John Voight?
What's Hackers about?
About hackers, bro. In the
Hmm.
90s.
Man.
What? The title.
I'm in for Hackers.
I still
Yeah,
didn't
let's
hear
How
it.
do
much techno is in that movie?
A lot.
Vote. Give it a
As
thumbs
they're-
up, and we'll find out.
All right,
There's
that's
There's
fine.
one thumbs up on that.
As they're hacking, the techno music's going. Doo-dum, doo-dum, doo. We've already done Starship Troopers, John. Watch the old episodes.
That was our
Do,
first
do,
movie.
do, do, do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it may have been. It's up there.
Smoking Aces.
Which
You
one's
know,
that
I've
one?
never seen that, but I've heard good things. I'll give it a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Who's in Smoking Aces?
Basically all the same guys from Snatch, except
Brad
Pitt.
Pitt.
Is it a Guy Ritchie film?
I think so. It's like a Guy Ritchie film. Let me see.
4 more.
Let's go Saving Private Ryan.
Ooh.
Oh,
Ooh.
I don't want to cry.
I accidentally downloaded the wrong one once, and I was watching Saving
Ryan's
Private.
Privates.
Both of them are great, in case anybody's wondering.
Man.
How about, let's see, Limitless? Limitless. Is that?
What if you could use 10% of your brain?
I don't think Limitless is old enough.
Yeah, it has to be 10 years old. Somebody look it up for us.
Limitless is 10 years old, March 8th, 2011.
Wow.
Wow. I haven't watched that one, so is that the one with
Ooh,
Bradley Cooper?
Let's go.
Limitless. Limitless. Is that what we're talking about still? Is it old enough?
Yeah, it is.
I'm in for it.
I'm in. Let's do it.
All right. Van Wilder.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Dude,
Yep.
that's
Dude.
I've never watched that, so
what? Oh,
Is that it for the wheel?
2 more.
Let's go with Wavy.
People, it's me. You got to give me some artsy films here. Why are we picking all this fucking mainstream corporate garbage? Give me your weirdest fucking movie. Come on.
All right. If you want to go with weird, let's throw on the Kentucky Fried Movie.
I don't even know what the fuck that is, but I'm down. That sounds awesome.
Are we in for Kentucky Fried Movie?
Well, are you being serious? What is that?
Just put it on the wheel and you'll see.
It's a sketch comedy film,
I guess.
Yeah, it's gnarly.
and it's free on everything.
Oh, I would hope so.
All right, looks like one more. El último película. Hard boiled. Is hard boiled enough?
Hard boiled is dope, dude. Let's go.
Hell yeah. Oof. Somebody's out there hears me.
It's John Woo, man. You can't go wrong with that boy.
Well, that's like his
Right.
OG movie, right? All right, we're
Yeah,
good.
man. It's super good.
Hausu, we're already full. What is Hausu?
Hausu, is that one I should add to the list for next time?
1977, a Japanese comedy horror film directed and produced by Nobuhuku Obayashi.
That
Gesundheit.
sounds like a fucking Lego movie.
Perfect.
Sir, the poster looks like it'd be on Lego's wall.
All right, what are we gonna take off to put Hausu on there then?
Take off the Kentucky Fried Movie. I'm starting to have regrets.
All right, Hausu. Oops, can't go red on red.
It's pronounced house in English, but hausu is the Japanese word.
It's comedy horror.
It's Japanese fantasy horror.
Okay, dang.
So
Sounds
it's,
gnarly.
like it's their version of Army of Darkness.
We'll see.
Well, we'll see. See, Lego, it wasn't all that bad.
No, it was good. It was good.
Watch.
I'm excited. This is gonna be a fun wheel spin. I'm curious
Go
to see
down the
what we
list, Nate.
The gods must be crazy. Hey, Padilla, that's a good one. We're full, but hold that one. Have you guys seen The Gods Must Be Crazy?
No.
Oh my god!
I've heard
It's like-
about it. It's the guy that he finds like a Coca-Cola bottle or something, right?
Yes, in Africa.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that movie! When I was a kid, I like got pain from laughing so hard. That movie.
I've
was so
never
good.
watched it, but I saw the movie cover or poster or whatever.
All right, we got Army of Darkness, House.
Let's take out
That's-
Shazam and put that gods must be crazy.
No.
What happened?
He wants to
No,
take
we
off-
voted.
Kazam.
We can still take things off of here if you want. I mean,
Oh,
Hey,
Army of
Kazam
Darkness.
stays.
Army of Darkness, Hausu, Catch Me If You Can, Hard Boiled, El Topo, Van Wilder, Rounders, Limitless, Secret of Kells, Watchmen, Kazam, RoboCop, Tigray Animated, Departed, Ran, Kurosawa, Hackers, Big Trouble in Little China, Smoking Aces, and Army of Darkness.
sweet.
Good times. All right, so we'll be spinning that in a little bit down the road. What else we got going on? Let's see. We've got, there's a video we had put out this week on the channel when I was grounded in Indio. That's why we couldn't come on last week. But I made this video top 5 ways to upgrade your current comic collection. So this is one of the top 5 ones that we do from time to time. And I've got some recycled footage in here of Liz back in the day with AJ.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah.
With her orange sweater. That was number 12 on the days of t-shirts.
I still have that sweatshirt. It's one of my more comfy ones.
So if you're looking to upgrade your current collection with the prices that things are, check this video out. I also have a whole script of the thing going right here in case you want to read along. If you get a chance, check it out. Something that came out this week from our channel. We've also got Comic Cave was out this week.
Hell yeah. It's a great week again. Dude, why did great books just keep coming out?
The cavemen go to hell this week. So we've got a different little intro there. And then the cavemen go to hell. Oh, fire and brimstone. That was a
How
fun
can
one.
how can you hate on a support group for former possessed people, man? Come on. That was the Comic Cave pick of the week, the Lucky Devil. And I don't think we need to say no more.
Right.
If you've
That
had
was
an
so much fun.
Exorcist, yeah, it's pretty, but it's also a pretty gnarly book too.
Wait, is Lucky Devil the one where the guy gets possessed, but then he gets exorcism done, but he saves all of the powers, but he doesn't have the demon inside him anymore?
Yes,
Exactly.
and he has a
And
support
then the demons
group.
that like the demon lords are like, fuck this. Why does he get to have all the perks without any of the
Yeah, but it's
Get him.
but there's also a support group for anybody who's been possessed in the past,
Gotcha. Yeah, I
like
missed out on
AA sort of.
things.
Yeah, that one was a lot of fun. That was Colin Bunn, I think. Again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever
Dude's killing it. Guy's staying busy.
Throw a rock into a comic book store, you're gonna hit something with Cullen Bunn on it.
Right?
Yeah, that was the one darn thing that I didn't like about the stores in Tennessee is that they're very heavy still with like Marvel, DC. They're independent. It's like Dark Horse, Boom, maybe some IDW, but like there's not a lot of small press stuff they
Lame.
have out on the rack.
But
Yeah.
wasn't Lucky Devil Dark Horse?
I think
Yeah, I believe it.
I think it was, but they didn't have it. They didn't have any there, and it wasn't like I missed the crowd. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Coming
yeah.
We were there first
We were
thing
there
on
kind
New
of-
Comic Day.
Yeah, we were kind of there right when things opened, and it wasn't the two stores that we went to, and
Well, the one store was mostly a game store, so I don't even
That's
know
true.
that they really focused that much on comic books. They did a lot of miniature stuff, so which I found pretty fascinating, but I not really the comic scene.
I was gonna say Josh must have been stoked. Get your little mini Gandalf.
Wrong minis, man. Watch my video.
yeah, the one was mostly a toy store. The other one that we went to was mostly a toy store.
Yeah, it was like a crap load of pops and some action figures and then a few comics on the side.
They do have pull lists because we did see people. It was weird. One of the rooms you would walk the gaming store one, like the whole, and there was like a little like alcove in the back that had these little cubbies, these like small little cubbies, and I think it had like it's like a preschooler kindergarten where you have your name on your cubby. They just pull your stuff, put it in the cubby, and you just walk in and grab, whatever is in your cubby type situation, which was kind of interesting.
I've actually seen that a couple times in some out of state comic shops, and I think it's actually a pretty good idea. I would like to have my own little cubby.
Yeah, it was kind of cool because like I looked in, I was like, oh, well, I thought it was maybe like not a break room, but like an employee room or something like that. And a couple of people just kind of like wandered in, went right back there, grabbed whatever was in the box, went up to the register, and like walked out the door type thing. And I was like, oh.
That it was weird because that was like catty corner in the building from where the register was. So I feel like you have to have a pretty good honor system going because some guy walks in there and he's like, man, I didn't order that one. Yoink.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Like,
yeah, but what if you put them upside down?
Then somebody can just go in there and start turning the books around and go
digging.
Yeah,
but more of a risk to get caught because you'll be forcing the, I don't know.
And what happens if you get caught? You get like full force Bulbadia.
Maybe the truth of the matter is that fans of comic books are just simply more noble people.
We are.
Nah.
Thank you.
Lego, that rhino looks fucking fantastic, dude. It's coming out really good.
Thanks, dude. Thank you.
The escape hatch is the best part.
Yeah.
I'm telling you guys, be looking for me on the streets, on the mean streets this week.
You're gonna hear people pass by, fucking bum.
Get a job.
Get a job, asshole.
Oh my god. That's
Now
good.
me, Lego, I'll be
man.
hyping you up. I'll be like, hey, that guy may be a bum, but he's a talented bum.
Yeah, you could sit down with the lady that we saw that was making all the signs for the bums. You could work with her and give everybody like their own logo.
Dude, that would be a really interesting gig.
A Lego logo? That'd be the shit.
Well, I mean, that's kind of basically what I do in my main deal. So I've never done homeless logos though. I mean, like, what am I gonna do? Like naked wizard penis guy logo?
You should just do a whole series of them and let them pick out the one that they like.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a good idea. I get
Choose
the
your own
feeling I'm gonna be
penis.
drawing a lot of meth.
Scully
And
D.
then at the end
Joe.
of the day, they have to turn them in. So the next day, they could be somebody different if they want.
It'd be Scully
cool.
Hobo Joe.
I wonder. So, like, we're joking, but I wonder if that would make a real impact. Like, if you were a homeless guy out there or gal, like, if you had a branding, if you were the penis wizard, like, would you get a little bit more cash tips on the side of the road? Or I think you would. I think you gotta market yourself here. You can't just be like every other guy out there being like God bless. You gotta pump the gas a little bit and really stand out.
Literally.
So as long as you're not getting the wrong type of tip.
Sorry guys, I'm just trying to sell this to I'm working on my pitch.
I highly,
Okay.
I mean, I respect it, but I don't think homeless people are tuning into our channel right now, dude. Might have worse Wi-Fi than I do.
What 124 Music says it's hobo glyphs.
Simpsons did it already.
That's awesome.
The Simpsons
Oh,
did it.
man.
That's great. 124 Music. I don't think I've seen that person on our.
He said Scully D. Joe brought him in.
Oh, nice.
Sweet.
Oh, okay. Is this one of your
What up?
one of your art buddies?
It must be an ink and
Everybody's
drink
our
dude.
buddy.
I don't recognize the username, but what up?
Hobo glyphs. That's tight. All right. What else do we got going on? Let's see. I've got another share for all y'alls. Batman writer
Oh yeah, I
James
sure got
Tinian quits DC for creator-owned comics.
Oh, that's
Good
big.
for him.
He's
Good
been
for him.
making a lot more money with his own stuff, so why wouldn't you quit?
Yeah, exactly.
Your own,
Dude, this
your own
guy's been on freaking fire. Department of Truth, Wind, something is killing the children, everything, dude. That guy is untouchable.
The Nice House on the Lake.
Nice house. Okay.
I haven't read
That's,
it. I think
that's
Lego
DC
told us
though.
about it.
So he's with Substack now. What's the deal with Substack? You guys know?
No.
I know
think
that there's.
Oh
Go ahead.
yeah. So I was
That's the
Oh, wait,
Schneider.
wait.
Isn't that the Schneider thing that he's created?
Is it? Because I saw Hickman, Huddleston, and Del Mundo are doing a new thing on Substack,
I remember.
but I don't know what the heck it is. It's like it seems like it's an online only sort of.
Oh, kind of like
Something?
Panel Syndicate.
Hmm. Yeah, I clicked on the website today and I was kind of confused because it was like it had some sort of like subscription tier, but I didn't dive into it and I wasn't gonna spend money on something that I didn't understand. But yeah, it's
looks like his first project is a UFO themed series called Blue Book with Michael Avon Oming and somebody. He's also doing Operation Zoo Book, Operation Top Lock, Operation Nightmare, and Operation Dial Up. Lots of operations.
I'm gonna buy it all. Sounds like X Files. I'm on a big X Files kick right now.
What does this mean for his other creator-owned comics?
It was getting into what the subscription price was going to be, but you went too damn fast.
Where is it?
Oh, you went too fast again. So how do I read
Oh,
Tinian's upcoming comics?
$7 a month.
Month or $75 a year, or if you're the Tinian super fan, $250 a year. What?
You get for that.
You get
Yeah,
all,
but the 250, you get
all
the actual
the
printed book.
plus 6 print comic
Get a
books
huge
with
J.
variant cover exclusive to people at the theater.
with his drawing hand.
Stop.
Yeah, you're gonna have to subscribe to read these.
I think that's a really interesting model. I kind of like this better. Like I don't know what you guys think about it, but I've noticed a lot of people have been doing this with podcasts where it's like you pay the creators directly and it's a nominal fee or whatever, but it's going straight into the creator's pocket rather than a megacorp. I don't know what you guys think about that, but I
They
kind of
do
like
like
it.
half shows, right? They'll do like a half show. They'll have like I see like political dudes. They'll have a show where I don't know, Joe Rogan goes on Ben Shapiro or whatever, and they'll talk for like half the show on YouTube, and then they'll be like, "Hey, if you want to catch the real important stuff we're going to talk about, go over here. We got to pay." So
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's an okay model.
yeah,
I
even
like
if
a
you
lot of
lose a bunch of the people watching it, at least the people that stay, the money's going right to your pocket, not going to like Oreos or whatever the hell else.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle has the same thing with his podcast, The Midnight Miracle.
I like a lot of the ways that they're starting to utilize more of the online like situations and just different marketing kind of like techniques. I mean, I like the onlines, and then they would do the print versions like later on down the road. And then Scout is doing a new kind of thing too, where it's like a gift card. It's like on one of the card hangers. So it's like, you go to Amazon card and they've got the thing on the card that's on the little hanger thing. So they've created a hanger, and the hanger is a mini comic of the issue that they have. And then you get a card. It's like a trading card, but you scratch the back of it off, and it's a PDF code for that issue too. So you're getting a mini comic to kind of like let you see what the comic is about. You're going to get like a kind of a trading card because it's the cover of the comic that you're reading. And then you get a PDF of the actual full issue that you're for that particular one too.
Really
They've
quick.
been doing that. I want to say that the certain writers and artists in the UK have been doing that, because when we met David Lloyd, we paid for a sketch, but he said technically we were paying for, you remember Lego? He gave us
Yeah.
a card also, and he said if you type in that code on that website, it'll unlock the first 3 issues of this book that we're
I
doing.
remember that.
It's
Yeah.
Ace Comics. They're really
Ace
good.
Comics, there you go.
And that's
Yeah.
it was a really interesting, different approach, but I like that a lot.
Well,
Well, because
Yeah.
you could put like these particular comic ones, you can hang them in, you know, the gift card alleys that you always see at like, you know, Targets and Walmarts and things like that, grocery stores. They don't take up a lot of space. And, you know, it's another way to kind of introduce people to comic books necessarily who haven't like read it or what, you know what I mean? I thought it was kind of interesting
but
how
I
they
mean,
were doing it.
but so as people that have been reading comics now for
Those are
decades,
called comic tabs or something.
I mean,
Comic
how do you-
tabs.
how do you
Something
feel
like that.
about not actually having a comic book in your hand, one that you can file away and come back and read later? you
Well,
know?
no, that's the thing is that that's the thing with this one is that they're going back to like it's like Stabby Bunny #1. It's like it's kind of like their I don't know, their better #1 titles to get new people to potentially like read it. So you can still go and get it in graphic novel format or an individual comic for that issue.
Yeah, but is that happening with Tinian's work?
oh, I don't know if they're
or
doing
is
that
he
yet.
only putting it on the web?
I used to be like, I mean, I would still consider myself a purist. I want to have the book in my hand, but I feel that we've been gypped so many times by some of these big, like, I mean, Marvel and DC, you know, they put out some good stuff every once in a while, but the majority of the stuff, and then with all the tie-ins and everything, it gets really, it gets really tiresome. So I think if I have to support one of my favorite creators, because James Tinian's really up there right now on our list, I think I would go digital. And if it meant I had to wait a little bit longer, have some of that late gratification of having a graphic novel or a what is it, a trade in my hand a few months down the road, I think I would do that just to kind of stick it to the other guys, you know, that are kind of like, hey, get the creators back on board, give them a little bit more liberty to do what they want to do with those characters, because if not, the fan base is going to follow them.
Sure.
You know, it isn't so much like, I don't think it's so much, you know, the characters. It's like Josh, you were talking about how you didn't, you know, you weren't on board, or you weren't that much of a fan of what they were doing with Cap recently. Okay, so if James Tinian is a writer that you like, but you know, if they're telling him do this, do that with the character, and you know, okay, well, I'm tired of that. But you really like the creators, and go and support the creators. That way, these big companies realize, yo, that's where the money is. It's with these guys. So let them do what they want to do with these characters. I feel like this is just, I mean, history has a tendency to repeat itself. And I feel like this is kind of what happened with Image. You know, those guys walked out and they said, we're done with you guys. You guys aren't letting us do what we want to do, or you guys are telling us too much of what you guys want us to do. And we're not going to go like that. And, you know, for a while they said, well, you know, you'll come crawling back. And we obviously saw that that's not what happened. And you know, good things happen when people decide to say, all right, enough is enough. You guys don't know what you're doing again. Plus, look at all the deals that have just fallen through with DC. You know, more DC. Marvel's got the Marvel money, so they can kind of stick around. But the creators, you know, getting fed up with how DC is handling their stuff. You know, a lot of people haven't been happy with them, especially with all those massive layoffs. They fired a bunch of their homies. So I can't imagine if, you know, if we were working on something and my homies got let go because mismanagement, I'd be waiting and biding my time till I got a chance to say, you know what, I'm out. So
Yeah, but
I think there's a lot of
there's
stuff
a good
happening
point
behind the
right here
scenes
that
that we're not
John's
aware of.
making. John's making a point here. If I distribute direct to the consumer, isn't that impacting jobs like the printers, distributors, shop owners, publishers, etc.? Like, yeah, you might be sticking it to the man, but you're also sticking it to all the people who supported you down the road besides just the man.
Yeah, it's a big problem. It's actually one of the things that Liz and I have been discussing at length for quite a while now.
Yeah, the length of New Mexico,
Well,
as a matter of fact.
Especially with,
Sorry.
especially with regard to the comic skaters, you know, Ethan Skyver and Richard C. Meyer and those guys. You know, they're producing, you know, graphic novels that you can put in your hand and you can support them directly. And it, you know, word on the street is that their content is good, but they really are cutting out the middleman. The only, you know, they do have their printer and they do have, you know, they do make use of inkers and writers and stuff like that.
Well, in their case, they got canceled though.
Well, I think Ethan did. I'm not sure about Richard. I'm not sure if he got canceled. I know that he got okey doked by Mark Wade, but that's a different thing.
Well, no, but the discussion about this is the fact that they're not selling or making it available through their Kickstarter or Indiegogo campaigns. They're not making it available for a comic book store, retailer store to carry their stuff. So in order for me to carry it in my store, I have to pay the price that everybody else is paying. So I'm not making it, or I have to charge more when it comes in. But why would I, if they, you know what I mean? So they're making it, they're
I'm
doing
surprised
that.
they don't have like a bulk discount workaround or
Well,
something.
there's a lot of companies that do Kickstarter and Indiegogo campaigns where they have a dealer one where, you know, it's for X amount and you get this amount of copies of variants and this, that, and the other. They don't on theirs.
These sole creator things, they're not doing that.
So
they
I'm
don't
not
think it's
sure,
necessary.
because I know Dan Fraga is doing it with his Black Flag stuff again, and he's working with, you know, Ethan and the comic. He's working the same model that those guys use. I have to double check, but if it follows the same model that the rest of them have, there's not an option for retailers to purchase.
I can
So
get
they're not
that
supporting. They're not supporting the. This was the main beef that I have with these guys, is that they're talking about how the comic industry sucks and it's tanking and it's going into the toilet, and the publishers are doing this and we're doing something different. You know, but they're always slamming that comic book stores are closing, comic book stores are closing, comic book stores are closing, and it's. They just keep beating that drum over and over again. And then the industry sucks because look at the stores are closing. And it's like, well, you're part of the problem because you're not making your product available you're not helping bolster. You don't like the big two. I get that because they're putting a lot of Grec out there, but you're also not trying to push out the Grec with good by not making your product available for the consumer. That's just going to walk into a comic book store that doesn't know anything about, you know, we're the comic book store retailers are the first line of defense to like give people options and things to read. And I can't tell me how many times people come in and like, my friend likes this, but I don't know anything about it. What do you recommend? Or I want to start reading comics. What do you recommend? And things like that. Well, you know, we can't recommend these guys because it's taking them out of our realm into a different realm.
It creates
another schism that doesn't need to be there if we're trying to build up the industry that they say it's tanking so poorly.
It creates an interesting dilemma because what you have is I'm sure you have comic shops that probably would lean in the direction of the Comicsgate guys to say, hey, you know, I would love to carry, you know, Ethan's material or whatever, but then because of the way that they don't deal with the comic shops, it's only really financially viable to support the opposition that you really don't care for in the first place, which I think actually in the end ends up hurting the Comicsgaters on some level, is because the retailers who would want to support you can't and are forced to support the guys that they don't want to because it's the only thing that's profitable for them.
Not even profitable. It's actually an option, right?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, because we were doing
to sell the other stuff.
No, you could, but you'd be marking it up above retail. You know, if Ethan's selling a comic for $30 in order to make the same kind of money off of it that you would off a standard comic, you'd have to do $40.
And then somebody could just go get it themselves for $30. Why would they get it for you for 40?
Exactly. And you could get it for $30 online and get some perks with it. Whereas in the store, you just be dropping the 40 and get the trade alone. So it's a conundrum because, like I said, I think there's a lot of comic stores that, because of what's going on with the big two, they would rather support these independent guys, but the independent guys just aren't working with them at all. And I don't know how you cross that bridge.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that happens, because there's a lot of good stuff that's out there. New content, or even like reprinted content on those campaigns that I would love to get to carry, but they're just not making it an option, unfortunately.
Well, I got to give a quick shout out since we're talking about indie guys. There's an awesome artist that we reviewed his latest book last week on the Cave episode. Kanker, Andrew. His last name's escaping me right now, but he's an awesome artist, awesome writer, and he's got this Kanker character. He just released the book, and he's doing some bulk orders with a handful of stores, but most people are buying it directly from his website. He draws it, writes it, and prints it all himself, and then whatever relationship he has with the stores, he cuts the deal. I think that's probably going to have to be the way that a lot of these stores and creators do it. It's going to have to be more of a personal relationship. You can't rely on a previews or a diamond.
Yeah. Well, it was one of the more pleasant examples. I don't know what the word is Drew Zucker, the guy who does Kanto, the Kanto series. He had a self, I don't know if it was a small press, so I think it was self-pub. It was called The House. It was done in individual issues. And then they collected it in a trade format. And I liked Kanto, and I reached out to him asking him if, it was through like a group on Facebook, one of those Facebook group things. And I contacted him because he mentioned having, graphic novels of it, and it looked interesting. And yeah, we bought stuff for the store and brought it in. So I think we sold like 15 or 20 copies of like the original, graphic novels, and they signed them for him. They sent us a bunch of bookmarks and stickers and like Kanto type stuff and postcards. It was really cool. And now, I think because of that push and working with the dealers and people wanting that, it's now getting published under a bigger name. It's getting published under Dark Horse, being reprinted under that. So it's going to have a wider base for that.
If you get one of those original ones, you might be sitting on a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Right. But I mean, they were working with us, they gave us a nice, like a retailer type discount, and, selling it, sending it out, doing the signing for it, all of that, just as like a fun, like perk type thing. So that was a good example of these guys working with retailers to get their stuff out there and known. This is right before, it was like right when or right before Kanto dropped. I had heard about that one, and I was like, oh, and he, like I said, he popped up on the chat, and I just contacted him. It's like, sure, let's try it. Let's see what happens. Worst case scenario, we have 5 copies of something graphic novel sitting on the shelf. But yeah, it was really cool. And it's too bad that more aren't doing that, or don't know where to go or find the channels or the stores that are willing to carry stuff like that, taking a chance on that as well.
And necessity being the mother of invention, that's a big avenue for somebody to be able to go in and do something now, then, isn't it?
Yeah,
absolutely. It's hard though. I mean, I feel like a lot of these people are creators. They're not business people. So it's going to be, there's going to be some growing pains.
And then why would a business person go in there and put the business piece to work if the creator is going to make all the money from it, and then the person behind the business would be looked at as the evil dictating owner? It's tough, right? It's tough.
Well, it's interesting because Boom's doing a lot of, I don't know, weird, but they're like Berserker. When Berserker, before it was announced, they decided to do a Kickstarter campaign that you could get the full series in hardcover format. I think it's supposed to be 3 separate like storylines. And before the first one dropped, they did a Kickstarter campaign where you could get like the hardcover. It's going to have a slipcase and this, all of this like stuff that was part of it. But it wasn't going to be released until, each of the story arcs were completed. And that was another way to like kind of, I wonder if they use that sometimes as a gauge to see how popular something might be, because they didn't do that for like We Live. They didn't do it for Something Is Killing the Children or Once in Future. They're picking and choosing. I think I'm wondering if that's their way of throwing the spaghetti on the wall to see what sticks before it actually comes out, to see how much of a marketing campaign they want to do for it. How quickly did we reach our goals? This sounds like, okay, let's do this. Let's push on this one. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. It's fascinating to see all the different ways and avenues for them. Like I said, the new one for me was, which I was thinking about more, are those little credit card, gift card looking things, because they look like an Amazon gift card, but it comes with a mini comic. It comes with like a collectible, the credit card itself thing looks like a collectible card. So it hits all these little niches where everybody, and it doesn't take up a lot of space on the shelf, and they're fairly inexpensive. And you know what I mean? It's like a little, I don't know.
I think the problem is this.
No, I get that, but that's the thing, is that the ones that they're picking to do, you can still get a physical copy of it. This is for somebody who's like, oh, I got to put together a gift basket for my kids' auction at school for the silent auction. What do I do? What do I do? And then you just have a whole bunch of gift cards. Oh, this is a cool comic. This is a comic book. Oh, the kids like comics, and they grab it. You know what I mean? It's almost like it's one of those like impulse buy area type things that
free comic book day, little mini comic.
Kind of like that. Yeah. And I think they weren't too expensive. I think they were maybe only like a couple of bucks. It was like $2, and you got like the mini comic and then the PDF of it. And Scout's doing that with a couple of they're calling them their non-stop titles. And a lot of them are for like the kids, but there's a couple of like adult ones too, where it's $1.99 for the first issue and you get to try it out. And then like 2 months down the line, they'll print the whole story in a graphic novel. And I think the price point on the graphic novel is like $10 or something. Huh?
They hate that Scout model. He's so bad.
Really? I think it's kind of cool. Well, I
think it's cool if you know about it. But when we pick up books, they look cool, and then we start reading them, and we're like son of a gun. We get to the end and we realize it's one of those. So I guess if you go into it knowing, it's not as bad. But half the time we don't know, and then we get one of those, and we weren't aware of that model. You literally just educated me on that right now. I didn't know that was one of the things they were pushing. We discovered it by
They started it for the kids' titles. There's Scoop titles where they started it. So at a price point for $1.99 for a kid's title that you're not sure if your hummingbird brain kid is gonna like, you can go out and pick a couple of different things here and there and have them read and see which ones they like, and the ones they do, you feel better about. I don't know, I'm not a parent, but I'm just saying, I've seen other parents feel better about dropping the $10 on them getting, a full story that they know their kid's interested in and wants to read. But I just found out, I just started paying attention. Yeah, it's called Nonstop or something, but they're doing that with more like regular mainstream, kind of like not all ages, but more like adult ones as well. And they're probably just feeling out the market a little bit on them. But I think it's a way for people to like read more, to test the waters. Like, I'm really just a superhero person. Oh yeah, well, here's another superhero type story and you're not spending $5 on something that you may not like. You're only spending, $1.99. And maybe you're going to like it. And then, you're invested in wanting to read it down the line. But I could see where it could get really upsetting if you're like, oh, this is great. What do you mean I got to wait 4 months until I find out? And now I could see where that could. Yeah, I had to catch up on that. Like I said, most of their Scoot comics are like that. But now I've started seeing more and more of their nonstop, their other titles they're doing that for too. But again, I think it's one of those things where they're just kind of trying to test different models, throwing the spaghetti on the wall and see what's sticking. And to see how other people are,
I think it's a great model. They got to be more upfront with what, with what they're doing, because it looks like you're getting a regular comic when you walked in there,
Yeah.
And it's a bit of a surprise when you're reading, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, if you want to read any more, you got to buy the book. I think they got to like frame it as a 0 issue or I don't know. For me anyway.
Yeah,
Well, the other reason why
a 0
I
would
know
make
about it
sense.
is because I read the previews, and it says it in like the description that it's part of the nonstop title, or this is part of their nonstop pub model. Like when you read the descriptions, like in the previews magazine, or you go onto Previews World, it'll tell you which ones are like that. And I'm
Gotcha.
sure that's why I know which ones are and aren't. And we base our ordering off of some of that stuff too, because a lot of people don't like to have to wait like that, like you guys, like frustrating that way. But
I think one of the old ways that these people used to be able to show their wares was part of my segue.
wait, did Jose have a little bit more to say though?
No, I was saying Lego does have a point where that would be a good idea to frame it as a 0 issue. But I also think the marketing department knows that people don't really go out and buy 0 issues. They buy number 1s for some reason. So I can see why that would also be, that would also have negative effect on that.
Or make them an ash can edition, just a little bit smaller, so that they're not a full comic. You're getting a full comic issue, but
Yes.
you're not getting the full story. But make it maybe a different size or something. I don't know. Or put it on the front or on the inside page. You open it up. Oh, our nonstop title. This is what this means, and to help avoid confusion, I guess.
Yeah, only because some of those have been solid, and we were like, oh heck yeah. And then when we get to the end, we're like, oh my God, are you serious? So, that's just us though.
I can't remember if Claire the Dragon is one of those nonstop titles. Like I said, most of their kid ones are modeled that way. But recently I've been noticing like a couple of the other genres have been slipping in here and there. Mostly in their I think it's more of their sci-fi like type titles. Like their solid horror or their solid, noir type ones. They're leaving those ones alone. I think it's certain genres that they're not sure about, that people don't tend to read that much. And I think it's a lot of the science fiction and a lot of the children's books they're doing that for. Sorry. What?
Nate, spin the wheel.
See you sleep.
I can't see the put your thing on.
No dead air.
He's up? Oh no.
All
Oh,
right.
it looks like we got Army of Darkness. Nice.
Oh wait, we spun it.
I have a feeling we're going to get Army of Darkness. I think there's the fundamental flaw with this wheel that I was realizing as I was putting the movies on it. So we'll see. I think we either get Smoking Aces, Army of Darkness, or Hausu. Call it a hunch. All right, but I'm gonna spin the wheel and I'm gonna back up. So it'll be on what it is.
He like touches it. He's like, man.
Boy, it's really got some spin.
I see his toe trying to stop it.
That's not his toe.
I don't think that's his toe, dude.
Oh, that was so close to El Topo.
What a surprise!
It's off
Army of
balance.
Darkness. Yeah, this thing's got a wobble in it, dude. What a
Spin
piece
it
of
again.
shit.
See what happens.
I bet you it'll either go on Smoking Aces, Army of Darkness, or Housey.
Hey, honey, if it spins on the wheel the 3 times in a row in Army of Darkness, you're gonna have to get a tattoo.
Oh, I will totally get a Bruce Campbell tattoo right on the tip.
Oh my god.
What?
What?
Oh, that thing was looking at me.
Ashy slashy.
The wheel's busted.
Oh man.
Yay, Army of Darkness. No, don't spin it 3rd time. I don't need a tattoo on his penis.
What you're gonna have to do is lay it down.
I can try to do that.
And then
And
when it's
I won't be able to film it. And I think we can just do Army of Darkness this week. And then I'm gonna take, because I've still got 1 second.
How much did
Should
he
have
pay
practiced
for
on the
that?
wheel earlier.
Yeah. Who knew that getting a quality wheel was so damn hard?
God, why are you such a dick?
I still got the old wheel, but the base is like broke on it. So I might be able to.
My favorite stuff for.
And you put the, oh my God.
So maybe I find a way to hook this to, I'll figure it out, but I'll rig it up and it'll be better next week. But for Army of Darkness ain't a bad movie to watch unless you're opposed to watching Army of Darkness, Lego.
Not at all, man. Let's say we made out pretty well.
Woo! Yeah, so I'll get back to work on the wheel. I'll try to put one solid wheel together out of the 2 pieces. And then what I do want to do is I want to bring back the click on it so it actually will stop and not go here and then roll back to whatever movie's on the blue one. Or we just hide this video and we put the movie we really want to watch on that slot. And it spin it every time. And then, hopefully nobody notices, hey, it's always a blue movie.
yeah, we should change our shirts too, so that way nobody notices.
Oh,
Good
man.
times.
God, you're shedding.
All right, I'm abandoning that discussion because that one didn't launch well. And then anybody watch the Suicide Squad?
No.
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 I watched it.
I want to watch it.
What'd you think of it?
I liked it. It was what you'd expect from James Gunn, bringing a bunch of unknown characters to the screen and making you enjoy them. My favorite was King Shark.
Was it better than
And-
the first?
Sylvester Stallone. That was pretty good. He sure knows how to get those buff dudes to be the way they are. Just
Okay, get down.
yeah.
Was it
It was
it better than the first?
Yes, a lot better than the first for sure. It's just
Okay,
the way
my
James Gunn does his character development that makes you like really enjoy him. is what it was.
Okay, my question
And
is,
it
what
wasn't.
about
It didn't go
the
the.
figure?
It didn't go. It didn't go the way I expected it either. Like I was expecting one way and it went the other.
How much is the thinker in it?
He's the main dude, the main,
Antagonist.
yeah.
That's my doctor.
He's your doctor? That's cool.
He's my
You go for
doctor.
your annual with him?
Yes.
And funny that you bring up the old one, the old Suicide Squad, because last week DC actually released Suicide Squad on the Black Label with Brian Azzarello and who did the art? Alex Maleev. Man, that version of the Suicide Squad, so much better than the movie, in my opinion.
You guys talked about that a little bit on the show, right?
Yes.
We did. The art was gorgeous on that. I was less impressed with the story, but those guys liked it.
What do you mean, those people? Anyways,
You people.
no, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot better than the movie. It follows the movie's plot and a similar storyline, but Brian Azzarello just knows what he's doing, man. So compared to what we got with that, I definitely enjoyed this book version of it better.
We did watch the first 2 episodes of He-Man or Masters of the Universe, whatever the hell it is, today.
Oh wow. What'd you think?
I liked the first episode up until like the very end, like the last like 3 minutes, 5 minutes of it. You know,
What was in the last 5 minutes now? It's been a while since I
that's
saw it.
of the first episode. That's where, you know, they tell King Randor that He-Man and his son were the same people, spoiler alert, and that he died. Like, and what I didn't like about it, I can understand like the father's grief and this and that and the other, because the queen knew, but the king didn't. But like, you know, Tila just like loses her best friend and she just decides to have like a little fit. But then I realized that it was Sarah Michelle Gellar who does her voice, and she basically Buffyized the whole thing. Like the last few seasons of Buffy, it's like, oh, woe is me, life sucks. Oh my god, it's so hard being me. Nah. And that's what it reminded me of, that little fit she has at the end of it. And I was just like, huh. But the rest of it I thought was fantastic up to that point.
Well, there's,
That
I mean,
particular episode.
it's you know, it's not going to get 100 from me, not by any stretch. I finished watching it, and there was parts I liked, and there was parts I didn't, and there was you know, I think that they did for the most part. Now it wasn't unscathed, but for the most part, they did a solid job of having the women be the focus of it without shitting on guys. You know, that's one of the things that I don't like about the movement is that. Did you think they shit on guys, Josh?
Well, so
For sure.
So well, I didn't get that so far. Like in the 2 episodes that we've said, like I said, we just watched the first 2 episodes.
The
And in
beginning of the
that,
second episode's horrible.
So it's like a German Scheisse video?
Shiza?
A German Scheisse video would have been better.
but like the second episode was the second episode was kind of cool, but again, it was just kind of like I'm just having flashbacks of Buffy episode. I don't think they did a good job using Sarah Michelle Gellar as her voice. She can't emote. It's just very whiny, very like self-centered, very like, man, magic sucks, man. I want to go get a latte, man.
I was far more enamored with Lena Headey as Evil Lynn.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was good.
I like Liam Neeson as Man-at-Arms.
Yeah,
He's doing-
and Man at Arms. I don't want to do any spoilers, but yeah, if you watch the whole thing, out, I really don't think that it's. I don't know.
I think
There's
what's going
lots
to
of
bother me.
times. Go
I
ahead.
think what's going to bother me is Buffy's voice as Tila, and I know she's in the. This is like she's in it a lot from what I hear, And so far she is. She seems like the main kind of like driving force for the show. And it's just it's gonna be one of those things I know it's in the back of my head. I might not be able to turn that off because I can hear her, and because of Buffy. Like I liked the first few seasons of Buffy, but after she came back from the dead and stuff, and oh is me, life's not, like that's the kind of tone that I'm hearing with the Tila character. It's like
I
later.
never watched Buffy too much, but I want to say that like when she had the "may I speak to your manager" haircut, you know, my inner Josh was screaming at that point, you know, but you know, I don't know. I was entertained. You know what was really good? What's really good is the Transformers War for Cybertron. If you watch those, there's 3 of them now, I believe, and they were able to introduce in the third wave the Beast Wars characters. It was, I don't know, it's dope. If you like the old school Transformers, they kind of had a reimagining of it, but it still had the original like motivation for it.
Right. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, honey. What do you think?
I think that by and large, Kevin Smith and his crew don't understand the characters that they're writing. And I think also as part of the project of overturning the quality things of the past, it seemed to me, and arguably we're only two episodes in, but it seemed to me that they're stacking a pretty high body count already. Many of the beloved characters of the past have already kicked the bucket by episode 2. And I don't care for that. I think that misses the whole point of what the original series was about. And yeah, I'm not, look, the art is fantastic. And there are glimpses, there are moments when you get the feel for the original series, and then it evaporates. So I don't think they're getting much of the original series correct.
Right on. I can kind of comment in there too. I watched the first 2 episodes today as well, and yeah, I think it's not for me. I didn't get anything offensive or really upsetting, but I just didn't find it all that engaging. Thought the first episode was okay, and the second one was kind of just not TV that I would put on.
I would challenge anybody to also go back and watch the original ones, because that was, when I tried to do that was rough. So I think that from what I'm reading, and it might be just from apologists, because it's like there's not too many people that are in the middle. Most people are like they love it or they hate it, and the apologists are saying that it was based more on what they were doing in the comics. So which I didn't read.
That's the feel I got too when they went down into the heart of the castle and stuff. I was like, wait a minute, I think I remember reading this in one of the comic series. I'm not sure which one, but it seemed familiar to me that way.
Well, I asked somebody that loves Master of the Universe, and they said they loved it. AJ loved it.
Yeah.
AJ also liked The Last Jedi, so just saying. Got to take that with a grain of salt.
Here's my surprise face.
You gotta take it with a salt shaker.
I love the Apocalypse, but he's not right on everything.
Yeah.
But he likes Jodorowsky, so I don't know.
Yeah.
He was the one who actually knew what Jodorowsky was.
When I told him what movie we were watching, he's like, "Oh my god, it's so good!" And he starts going into all. He goes, "But it's going to be real rough for you, Liz, on this part, this part, this part." I was like, "What?"
Well, Lego, what that means is that there's 2 of you. So.
Hey, we're building an army slowly. That's
right. All right. So it looks like Army of Darkness is going to be our movie. I think we can feel free to wrap this up.
You
Check
got
us
it.
out. We'll be back for Comic Cave on Wednesday, late to the party on Friday, and talking shit on Mondays. And then we'll be sporadically hitting you with some top 5 videos, and then the Collectibles Corner videos coming through as well. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. And we'll see you next Monday for Collection Connection. I'm Nate the Great.
So, for us, I'm the Scots. I'm Liz.
My
Where am
dick.
I'm Jason.
Jose.
I'm gonna finish this painting up on Twitch. Come join
Alright,
me, Skull
Lego.
Dude Joe.
Here.
All right, guys.
Good night.
Later.